Hello everybody, welcome back. Jonathan Gardner. Let's play some more Factorio, and I think I wanted to expand my circuit prediction. I forgot I was going to do the calculations in the spreadsheet thingamabob, whatchamacallit. Oh well. I could try going through my supply line and just write down how much I need of everything. I think... Toady pitons. Red? Why did I have the red circuit? I forget. There's something I wanted to make down here. I think it was the level 3. Oh, you know what? I should start making those. I should just start making them. The yellow factories. I'm going to start making...
some Swiss chord.
Okay, no Swiss chord for you, please.
I want some nice and juicy toady pitons.
Okay, I'm going to start making these assembling machines up here.
Really? You're going to make some pompadoopadoops?
Let's actually...
What is that poopity?
They take half a second to make, right? 2 assembling machines, 4 speed modules. Half a second. You know what? I'm just going to do this. I'm going to take all the excess and I'm just going to pocket build them. So let's have a filter inserter. You're going to pick up the speed modules. Yep. And then we're going to have a chest. And I'm just going to do this right here. Actually, 1 stack is probably more than I'll ever need. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to carry a bunch of speed modules around. Alright. Alrighty. Oh, I need to make my suit. I should research my suit before I go further. This next research will be geared towards getting my suit. Alright, let's grab these. And let's make 16 of those. I don't want to make those at all. And let's go upgrade my circuit production line. I need more. I need more. That should help a little bit. Looks like it's helping. Okay, so let's focus on my Power Armor 2. So I need level 3 speed modules. And this could take a while. Yeah. Let's actually take that out. We're going to do the yellows there. I can see the yellow sign slowly coming down. We're just not making enough green circuits to make the blue circuits. Yeah. There's 15 a stack there. Okay, so we're gonna... There we go. Oh, I don't want to make those actually. So control up there. And there we go. 14 more. And so 16. Don't make the circuits, please. There we go. I think this is sufficient. Later on when I build tons and tons, I'm going to have to build a factory to make those things. Alright, let's continue expanding our green circuit production. I want to get a nice blue belt full of green circuits. And that's pretty dang full, but let's continue the pattern. And we're going to have to probably make more copper as well to keep up with this. Actually, let's do that. Let's upgrade these belts first. Let's just upgrade these belts all the way. And so the copper It's coming from here. And I don't know where. How far does that go? Over there. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's definitely wrong. And then this will go across here. Alright, you can see that that's really sucking the copper down now. Probably should upgrade the iron as well, but let's do the copper first. And I definitely do need another belt of copper coming in. I don't know how many more blue belts I have. Hopefully it's enough. There, let's fix that there. Let's get the iron upgraded a little bit here. There, that's really good actually. Inventory full, huh? Well, let's get rid of some of this stuff here. There's the fast splitter that we didn't want to pick up. I can't seem to get it. Ah, that's right, I can mine it now. I can mine. There, beautiful. Thank you for that fix. I believe it's 0.16.16 that does it. Yeah, I have a problem. Copper plates. What else do I have? I have tracks. I don't want the tracks. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio of iron to green circuits. It's a 1.5-to-1 ratio of copper to green circuits. So yeah, I definitely need more copper. I'm going to bring it in on the bottom here. I mean, I've got a pretty dang full belt coming down. Feels like it could be doing better, though. I don't know why it is just not quite up to snuff. The copper is not making it all the way down, which is surprising because it is a full belt. Do I have some kind of limiter? No, there it is. Yeah, I see it. There's a red belt there. Now we get a full belt of copper on the blue here. So we should see the rest of this turn on pretty soon here. Yeah, look at that. Here it comes. Do I have any copper ore on me? No, I do not. There we go. There we go. That's a fuller belt. Still feel like we can do better. Let's build another array just right here. If I have enough belts. Enough blue and yellow inserters. So we did the school review for our kids, homeschooling, and they're doing much better. I think they're actually no longer, they're able to use computers again, basically. Because my rule was, if you're not doing your work, you don't get to use computers. Which might sound like an odd thing to do, but it's about the only thing I could find that would motivate them well enough. And I charge them rent. It's not really rent. What it is, you know, I give them a rough estimate of what it costs to live in this area. And food as well. And then I basically pay them enough through their schoolwork and chores that they can make rent with a little extra. And that little extra is their if they're doing their work like they're supposed to, that little extra adds up to an allowance. But they could see that when they're slacking and not doing their work, that it adds up really fast. You know, the way to get rich. There's no such thing. Well, you can get rich quick. Some people do. It's very rare, though. Instead, what you want to do is gradually accumulate assets over time. And the patient people are the ones that get rich. The ones that try to rush everything and jump at the opportunity to get rich quick. Those are the people that usually end up not rich. So, so I'm teaching them, I'm like, you have to work steadily and constantly, and you can't miss days, you know. Every day you miss is a day you can't make up. You know, life doesn't say like, oh yeah, you can go back and do next week all over again. No, you have to make steady progress. And the habits, you have to build habits. Good habits. You know, the kind of thing that I'm gonna have this go here. And I don't really need to balance it, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So that's my goal, is to teach them just the constant habit of working every day. So I'm a very cruel father. But they actually did the work this week. They did a lot of work this week, and I was very proud of them. So now they have their computer privileges restored. They can use their cell phones and things like that. This actually, I need to do a four-way balancer, I believe. No. So hopefully, no, that's wrong. They won't screw up. And I explained to them, another thing that we're working on is, I know I put these there, you don't really have to, but I do. Somebody pointed out that it helps to balance when you have unequal input, and I did some tests, and yes, it does. It helps a great deal. And I figured out why. It's mathematics, but I figured out why. So, yeah, steady work. So they got rewards. They're happy right now. I'm happy that they did their work too. And in my homeschool curriculum, as long as you're doing math, I make them memorize Chinese. The reason why I make them memorize Chinese is it's hard. Chinese is sufficiently abstract that there's no cheating. And you know, for thousands of years, I'm sure countless people have tried to find a way to shortcut and learn Chinese. There is no shortcut. You have to work steadily and consistently and memorize through practice. There's just no other way. So they're memorizing the 1,000-word poem. I'm out of furnaces. It frustrates me so much. I'm probably out of other things too. I just don't realize it yet. So what I'm going to do is just pretend like the furnace was there. And I'll go back later and pick it up when I pick up other things. So that's my cruel method of teaching my kids. And my son Archie, he's turning 17 very soon. And 1 year after 17 is 18. And so in our church, 18 is when you get to serve a mission, a full-time mission. And it's a big deal. And the reality just kind of hit us today. You know, my wife pointed it out, and I'm like, he's not ready for a mission. You know, he's not serious about anything. And so he said he wants to do it. So I'm going to have him start on a plan to get ready for a mission. We'll see what that happens there. But hopefully he's developing the habit of work. You know, right now he still has a problem. He sleeps in for most of the day. His work still is just doing the bare minimum just to get by. Which is good, but that's not how you have fun with life. If you just do the bare minimum, then that's just enough not to fail. You want to succeed. Right? I'm a cruel father. I wish I had been more cruel when he was younger. Been more strict with them. I think that's part of the problem. I've been much more strict with the other kids, when they were younger. And he complains about it. Everybody complains. Oh, you were more strict with us than you were with them. And, well, that's probably true. But does it really affect your life? I mean, the truth is, you spend more time with the older kids than you do with the younger kids. They're just... Okay, so I just need the furnaces and blue inserters. I'll probably put the rails back. I don't need the rails. You just don't have as much time to spend with the younger kids. And any moment you do spend with the younger kids, the older kids, they get upset. They're like, you're abandoning me. Uh-huh. You know. So what you gonna do? You can't win or lose. So. Good times. Good times. So my philosophy as a father, my advice to young fathers is be strict. And your wife is going to disagree with you, and that's what she's there for. And so listen to her. When she disagrees with you, listen. And then consider and think about it and philosophize. And, you know, it's a full-time job. There is no shortcuts. There is no shortcuts. And the other thing I feel bad about, and I don't know if I should feel bad about this or not, but is the kids don't see me work. They don't know what work is like, and I have no way to show them what the work is like. And you know, my son once accused me. He's like, "Well, Dad never works." Okay, you know, yeah, if you want to believe that, you can, but I don't think he understands what's really going on outside. And I wish that I could like take them to the office and no, don't do that, please. Shift left click on a power pole will disconnect it from all the other power poles around it. So I wish I could show them, like give them the experience and understand what work is like. I don't know how my dad, I don't think he did. I think he was mostly hands off. He did what was called job shopping at the time. Job shopping is when you go from contract to contract depending on where the work is. So he would go to different parts of the countries for a couple of years. And he made good bank. I mean, you make good money doing it because you're following actual work. The only issue is he didn't have much time with the family, right? And he regrets that. He totally, like, he doesn't like the fact that, you know, it upsets him that he couldn't spend more time because his dad was pretty hands-on. His dad was an accountant, 9 to 5, always home at the end of the day. And so his dad, you know, taught him lots and lots of stuff, but he wasn't able to do that so much with his kids. That bothers him. But the honest truth is not having dad home means that we had to deal with lots of issues on our own. So I think there was a study, I think, where they were trying to figure out how can we make physicists. So they looked at all the physicists and they figured out I didn't get the furnaces. I got the inserters, but not the furnaces. Can I make furnaces? I don't think I can. Nope, not enough stone brick. And they found out the pattern seems to be that the fathers they were still married to their mothers, they were still part of their lives, but they just weren't home very often. And they're not really sure why that makes a huge difference, but it seems to have made a huge difference. And so a lot of physicists come from families where the fathers are not present but not absent, you know. So that's the way my dad was. I spent, you know, I don't remember, never had to rely on my dad for anything, you know. Even getting the occasional bits of advice from him was kind of strange. So blue inserters here, that's where I need it. So yeah. Okay, why isn't it coming in? Oh, it's not a full belt, that's why. We need more copper. We need more copper! Yeah, they're draining. These early ones, I expected them to drain pretty quick. Yep, fatherhood. We don't even know what we're doing, but we can't tell our kids that. I know, they expect us to be like Superman. And even when I tried to explain to them, I am not Superman, they're like, it's something Superman would say. You know? It took me, I think, when I was like about 20 years old, I started to understand who my dad was, who he really was, you know? And it wasn't until like about 30, 35, and I had my own kids, and I started to really see him for what he was. And now that, you know, oh, I can put the stone here. I'll put stone in here. Yeah. What am I doing over here? I wanted to get some more copper. That's what I wanted. I wanted more copper. So let's get some more. Oh, I should build some landfill. Did I ever? I'm sure I researched that. Let's get the stone and make some landfill here. Yeah. The great mystery of fatherhood. That's only 14 stones. 14 landfill. I think that's all I'm going to need. Again, I'm going to spread it out. That'll be my cornerstone there. Monday is a holiday. It is Martin Luther King Day. You know, when I was growing up, excuse me. Oh, I should have hit the cough button before I did that. When I was growing up, and you're probably going to flag me for racism or something like that. When I was growing up, Martin Luther King was like idolized, you know? And as a kid, growing up in the 80s, racism just wasn't a thing. We just weren't, like, I think some of us were. Some of us might have, you know, but you don't understand what it is about. You don't understand why it's a bad thing, you know? As a kid, we would regularly, you know, recognize and make fun of our differences, which, you know, people falsely, racism is thinking somebody's inferior, or, you know, because their race is different, and they don't deserve the same rights and privileges and stuff like that. And so we just could not understand, you know, what Martin Luther King was talking about, even though it was like only 20 years ago, because by that time in America, things were already so different than they were, you know, just 20, 30 years ago. And so it's showing the videos, you know, VCR recordings of his speech to us. And, you know, the teachers, they'd all get excited about it and emotional listening to the speech. But the little kids were like, I have no idea what he's even talking about. It, you know, it's, I dream of a day, you know, when kids, black kids and white kids can be together. And we're looking around our classroom and like, why would it be any different? You know, it makes no, what are you talking about? We're living that right now, you know? And we didn't know that, I mean, we knew that their skin color was different, but we didn't know that there was any difference, you know? Because no one had ever taught us that, you know? And later on I discovered that the neighborhood that I grew up in, I had one of those, I think they're called like red line district, whatever. If you were black, you could not live there. They would not sell a house to you. And if you owned a house there, you couldn't sell it to a black person. It was illegal. But the Supreme Court ruled those unconstitutional. So it doesn't matter what the homeowners association or whatever said, you know. I think eventually the homeowners association did repeal the rules that were racist, even though they didn't have to, because they're invalid because the Supreme Court said so. And but they did, you know. And so when I grew up, by the time I was born and raised in that neighborhood, those issues were history. And, you know, it didn't make any sense to us as little kids understanding that. But the other thing that's interesting about Martin Luther King is the fight over his legacy. You know, if you notice nowadays, people don't talk too much about what he actually said.
About what?
Martin Luther King. Have you ever heard any Martin Luther King quotes?
No.
No, you don't. And I think people, if you publish his words, his speeches, you'll get a copyright infringement. You know, because
But you're not allowed to quote him?
yeah, you're not allowed to like reprint his speeches.
But I mean, you can quote him in videos, right?
Well, that's the thing. They'll sue you. You know,
They'll
the
sue
King
you.
Foundation or whatever will sue you for quoting him. That's what I understand, you know.
Why will they sue you for quoting this?
I know, it makes no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. But, so it's very difficult to go online and find recordings of his speeches and the words he actually said. And this is the thing that just kills me.
So why do people assume, like, if they don't even know what he said? Why don't you study what he said before you...
It's very difficult to even get the words that he said. That's one of the reasons, I think. The second reason is the things that he said are not in agreement with what people want him to have said. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
It probably doesn't make sense, but
It does make sense.
yeah. So
'Cause they would
if you
use,
listen
like-
to what he actually said, what he was hoping for was a society where people don't care about your skin color anymore. It's not a factor, you know?
Yeah.
And I think in many ways we've reached that. One of the ways that we haven't, and we're still struggling with, is things like, what is it called? When you give a person to a person, when you give a job to a person because you feel bad because he was discriminated against. No, it's called, what do I have this here for? Anyway, my dad, when he's an engineer, he talks about that they would hire a black guy, you know, to be on this engineering project because, you know, equal opportunity for all, right? And then they would tell him to go sit in a corner and do nothing. Don't touch anything. Don't look at anything. Don't even ask questions. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, they do that because they didn't hire him because he was a good engineer.
They hired him because they felt bad for him.
They hired him because he was a certain skin color, and they're trying to reach some quota or something like that. And that sounds crazy, you know? Like, if I saw that happening at work, I would freak the heck out, right? I would totally, like, hey, boss, I don't care why you hired this guy. I'm going to teach him how to program. I'm going to teach him how to do the job. And I'm going to make sure
he
he's...
can actually do something. And
Yeah! I'm not going to put him in a corner, you know?
I mean, if you just sat in a corner all day, you would go crazy.
Yeah. Well, my dad, he tried to do the same thing. And, you know, he's like, we're paying this guy. I might as well teach him some skills and get him involved in the projects. And his manager would say, no, don't talk to him.
That's
You know?
racist.
Yeah. So they'd hire black people for these government contracts. You know, he's working in the defense industry. And they wouldn't talk to him, you know? And it drove my dad nuts, right? Because he grew up in Wyoming and Idaho, western Washington, western U.S., you know.
Not Idaho. Did he go
No,
to
yeah.
Idaho?
He lived in Idaho for a while.
I didn't know
And
that.
southern Washington, southwestern Washington, right?
I did not know that.
Which, contrary to what many people believe, cowboys are remarkably egalitarian because they really don't care where you come from or your history. Remember, the cowboys were both...
There were a lot of Hispanic cowboys.
there were a lot of Hispanic
Most
cowboys.
of them were Hispanic.
And there was also, they came from the north and the south.
Yeah.
And so people, like, you showed up with a southern accent, they wouldn't ask you, oh, did you fight in the war?
No.
Which side did you fight? They didn't care because they knew better than to ask, right? So,
Okay.
let me put some balancers in here.
So what?
So he grew up, like, even in his youth, right? Even when he was a kid. His parents, like, his mom was from the South, the deep South, right? But she served in the military. And so I'm sure she was do something with coding or something. I don't know exactly what she did. But she was down in Oakland, that area. And so she... But anyway, yeah, I mean, if anybody was going to be racist in her family, it was going to be her. Because she came from the deep South. She grew up with a dirt floor.
Grandma Ruth?
Yeah, Grandma Ruth, yeah.
Didn't she have, like, a ticket to the Titanic?
No, I don't think she did. She was very poor.
I don't know. You said one of our ancestors did.
Probably on mom's side. On my mom's side. Let's do a four-way balancer here. But anyway, my point is this. Dr. Martin Luther King... so I asked my dad, I said, hey, Tell me about Dr. Martin Luther King. He said communist, right? And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah, absolutely communist. So I'm like, okay. Number one, that's not what we learned in school. And number two, where would you even get that idea from? That's such a crazy idea, right? And so I read some like old, articles and comments from talk to older people about Martin Luther King and stuff like that. And the country basically fell into two lines at that time, and not the lines you think. Okay, there was hardly anybody. It would be practically impossible to find someone. I don't think I need 4. I think this can go down to 2. Let's have this go down to 2 instead of 4. It was practically impossible to find anyone that believed that racism was a good thing. It just didn't exist, right? But there was two kinds of people. One was willing to fight about it, right? One was willing to make a political ruckus and go to the rallies and stuff like that. Those are like the Charlton Hestons. I don't know if you know who Charlton Heston is, but he would go to these rallies, and the important thing is they would go and they would be in the back, right? They did not want to overshadow. Like Charlton Heston at the time, a big name, right? Very popular in Hollywood. At that time, he was in several films. He's like Arnold Schwarzenegger, basically, right? And so when he came out in support of it, his biggest concern, and I believe he said this multiple times, his biggest concern was he did not want to steal the limelight from people like Martin Luther King that deserved to take the forefront. He agreed with the things that those people were saying and doing, but he didn't want to become the center of attraction, because these people needed to lead, and it had to be their movement. They had to own it, right? If anybody felt like, oh, Charlton Heston saved us, then that would just kind of ruin everything, wouldn't it? So, but anyway, communist. So they said, oh, he's a communist, right? And I'm like, what? When my dad told me that, I'm like, what? So I looked into it. So there wasn't hardly anybody that said that Martin Luther King, that would say Martin Luther King is a bad person and his ideas are bad. Because at that time in the country, to say such a thing was unthinkable, right? Unspeakable, I guess is a better word. Because everybody knew by that time that it's wrong. Racism is wrong. If you were a racist, you were very quiet about it. You're very sneaky about it and stuff like that. And then the other group of people, they were very concerned about the communist threat at the time. And so when they saw people protesting and raising a ruckus and causing a scene, they assumed that it had to be a communist thing. And indeed, I think if you look into the Martin Luther King movement, you will see communists associated with it. Because they're going to latch onto whatever's popular, whatever works, right? And that was an issue that they were using to agitate against the government. And there was, groups of people that thought that they could overthrow the government or blah, 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 stuff like that, right? Crazy people. So he said communist. Okay. So then I asked a clarifying question, I guess. The question that I asked was, okay, Dad, so you said he's a communist, right? Do you think he was like an actual communist, or what were you thinking when you said that? And then he said, no. Martin Luther King was a great guy. His speeches are awesome. Everybody thought he was awesome because he was right. You knew that he was right because of the things that he said, and he wasn't wrong about the issues, He was right. The reason why I said communist was because the reason why Martin Luther King became popular at that time was the communists were using him, right? Of course, that's like conspiracy theories type stuff. And so for a long time, he was very suspicious of anything. Anytime anybody came and said, oh, Martin Luther King, right? He was very suspicious, because to him, that was like, oh, you're just trying to bank in on his name. And so it was a very curious time in American history where pretty much everybody agreed with each other. The side that didn't agree had to hide their intentions, had to hide themselves, right? Oh, I have a lot of copper. Anyway, I'm sorry for getting so political. But that's the culture I grew up in, The idea of a black person sitting at the front of the bus just it made no sense to me why that would be a problem. It just made absolutely zilch sense. No sense. You know, and it wasn't until even like now, today with the alt-right and the groups doing that, I'm exposed to far more true racism than I've ever seen in my entire life. You know, and the funny part is these kids, and they're kids that are doing this like alt-right stuff, they have no idea what they're talking about, right? It's like they're just trying to be hipster, you know, with the racism stuff. The concepts that they're dealing with and that they're trying to... I'm going to try doing the underground belts here. They just sound like idiots, you know? Like, I can go back and I can read articles and papers written by, you know, the people that started the Civil War, you know? And the racism is insane. And then you read about the events that happened and during Reconstruction, and the treatment that the black people got from both black and white, you know, from both the Republicans and the Democrats. Just intolerable and just unimaginable how terrible it was, you know. And then you have people on the alt-right saying like, oh yeah, those people were right. And you're like, how idiotic can you be? You know, that's just insanity, you know. And we joke, but maybe it's true that it's what you might call a false flag attack. You know, that these people sincerely are being paid to do what they're doing because their position makes no sense. You know, and even if you take the most extreme alt-right fanatic, right, and you nail him down, and he's like he's a true believer. He's not like one of these 4chan, you know, trolls. You know. And you sit down and you talk with them, which I have, you know, and you talk with them about it. Their position, even the most extreme position, is that black people aren't inherently bad or worse. They're just different. And they'd be happier living among themselves, and the whites would be happier living among themselves. That's the core issue. And that's the racism that everybody's complaining about. That's the big heresy that everybody's upset with the alt-right about. So, and that's nothing like the racism that Dr. Martin Luther King grew up with, you know, and that he experienced. And so what he did, and I think some people compare like their fights with the alt-right, you know, the philosophical discussions that people get with the alt-right to, you know, standing up like Martin Luther King did to the racism that was inherent in the system. And when you look at the history, the actual history of it, you go, no, what he did was far greater. I think he knew early on that he probably would get killed. Somebody would kill him. Because he grew up in a generation that they were scared because of the lynchings and things that were going on. The KKK and stuff like that was a serious threat. And at that time that he was started, they still were a serious threat. There still were people going around killing people secretly. And so I imagine that he didn't think he would survive as long as he did. You know, it's crazy times. Crazy times. Anyway, Martin Luther King Day, coming up on Monday. Study the history of it. Study, if you really want to understand it, go read what people were writing and saying before the Civil War, after the Civil War. Get a good history book that talks about what it was like to live back then. And the insanity that was reality back then. And it's just crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, hopefully I won't get banned for this video. Hopefully I won't lose too many subscribers either. But my generation, the people that are my age and younger, we grew up in a completely different world where these things just literally, unless we go and study them, even then they still don't make sense. It just, in our minds, I can't comprehend. You know, I don't understand. And again, what I'm saying about the alt-right, not that they're good, you know, they're stupid is what I'm saying. They don't make sense. You know, because they haven't experienced true racism, you know, like the degree that people have in the past. And so what people call them LARPers, like live action role play. They're just going out there and pretending to be racist because they don't have within themselves to do what racists would have done. You know, they're not that inhuman. you know, and it just boggles my mind sometimes. Okay, so I am building plenty of blue circuits. I need more red circuits to make more blue circuits. The yellows seem to be flying off. They seem to all be active. So there seems to be general happiness among the yellow circuits, the yellow science. And I'm going to go down now and look at expanding my reds. Now, a couple thoughts. One thought is, how many of these can one blue belt serve? If a blue belt can bring down 20 items on a side. So let's say I fill this up with plastic. So these guys take 6 seconds. And they take 2 plastic bars. So they need a plastic bar every 3 seconds. So if I'm going to get up to 20, a second, that means I can build like, they need 1 every 3 seconds. So I can build 60 on 1 blue belt. 60. Really? That can't be right. No, that's right. Yeah, because 60 would build 10 a second. And it would bring down... Well, the yellows are 1.25, so I take 60, divide by 1.25. And so that means it's 4 times 12, so 48. So 48 on a side. 48. So if I were to make a full side of plastic, these guys are 1.25. It takes 1 second to make 2, so I need to have 10 of these running. I'm thinking of doing it. I'm thinking of doing it 10. Wait, I have to divide by 1.25. So that's 8. I need 8 of these. I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. Let's build 8 in a row. I'll just damage one side of this thing. 8, and I think I'm going to need like... Oh, that's cool. I just mined and picked it up. Do I have any more chemical plants? I need like 12 more. I don't even think I can produce that much gas. I don't know. It's a challenge. I'm going to do it. It's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be ridiculous. If I can, there it is. There's 10. I'll pick up 20 of them. Yeah. History, man. You got to study history. I know it's a trite saying. Those who don't study history are doomed to repeat it. But history really helps you understand why things are the way they are.
Mommy!
Yeah.
Woo!
Anyway, I've been studying this book. What's the history book we use, Kayla?
On History for Dummies?
No, come on.
Yes, it is!
No, it's not.
Fine,
No.
it's the Democrats' history.
No, oh, the history book that we wrote, that we read.
Oh, yeah, the Republicans' history.
No, come on.
Parrots' history.
It's... No, what's it called?
Parrots' history.
A Patriot's History, that's right.
No, parrot!
A Parrot's History. Exactly.
Yes.
No, it's called The Patriot's History.
It's just
And
parrot.
it's written by
It's parrot.
a professor that's
He's
actually...
saying it wrong.
Patriot, come on.
It's parrot.
You can stop now.
His last name is Parrot.
Patriots
You
history,
can stop
idiot.
now. Actually, one every 2 seconds.
See,
I just
look,
need one.
Here's a book.
So,
Parrot's history.
a Patriot's
Does he
History.
know?
Anyway, he
Patriots
was concerned because of the misrepresentations of our history. And so he wrote a very honest book about what really went on, you know, how things actually happened. Very well cited and well referenced. So if you're interested in the U.S. history, I think he gives a very good, clear picture. And he addresses, throughout the book, he addresses the themes of racism and things like that. And I think the most important thing he does is he exposes what it was really like in the past, you know. And there's people who try to sugarcoat our history. Like they say, oh, it wasn't that bad, you know, slaves had it pretty good, blah, 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 blah. And he excoriates those people by exposing exactly how bad it really was, you know. And he addresses those arguments head on. So it's great. It's a beautifully done book that I think just exposes the truth about our history. And the issue is you have to know what it was really like and what's real and what's fiction. Otherwise, you know, you're just living in La La Land, you know. So it's really interesting because he did massive research into trying to figure out like when slavery really began in America. Yes, my Power Armor 2 is here. And he couldn't find it. There's like, it's, anyway, you got to look at American history. It's very, very weird and different than what you think it is. It's not simple by any means, by any stretch of the imagination. Power Armor 2. Power Armor 2. Let's see what it takes to build one. Power Armor 2 requires 5, 5, and 40. And 40. That's right. It takes forever to build. So, Patriot's History. I need more underground belts. That's what I need. No, I don't want those. You can have them back. I will take some. I'll take some of those. So. I used to be really scared of doing the politics stuff, talking about that stuff, because I thought my channel might get banned or something like that. I'm not scared anymore. I think YouTube's already done its thing. I can't do any worse. And oh well, if you report me, if that makes you happy, do it. Report away. I'm offensive because I have different opinions than you. I'm a terrible person. I should go back and do what everybody else is doing. I should be exactly the same and have all the same opinions as everybody else. Right? That's how freedom works, right? Good times. Okay, so I have 8. I think I need 8. I'm going to double check the math here. Oh, wow, that's a lot of copper. Look at that. This backed up full belt of green circuits. I'm actually running faster than... I guess that makes sense. I have to run faster than the belt because otherwise what's you going to do? Okay, so these need to be blue belts. Because red belts can't handle it. They just can't handle the truth. Okay, so next I am going to need a full belt of copper cables. And I'm thinking with this, I need 8 of them, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'll have belts extend down. Oh, this is going to be interesting. See if I have like that. How far can I go? Can't go that far. What if I had it snake down this way instead? Then I had it go across here. Won't fit, will it? If I split it, brought it down and across. What if I had... I know what I'll do. This is what I shall do. I shall line them all up, one after the other. I'll have the copper come down this way. And 8 of those. Oh, I'm gonna need more of these, aren't I? Can I make more? Okay, no I can't. You guys are gonna make copper cable. Coppers, cables. History is awesome. And we're gonna have should I spread them out? I think I shall. I shall spread these out. This is exciting for me. I've never built such a big red array. This is going to convert an entire belt. If my calculations are correct, assuming my calculations are correct, which there's a good chance I mess something up, but I'm going to build it anyway on one side. This is going to require a ridiculous amount of things. There we go. And then we're going to have now, here's the trick. We need to basically bring them onto the inside.
What do you want to do?
So it's on both sides.
What am I allowed to do?
Anything but play video games. What do you want to do?
Play video games?
Yeah, I know. What game would you play if you could play games?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Or Ravenfield.
What if... No.
What?
I have an idea.
Write your idea down.
My idea is I will leave a gap in the middle here, and then I'll have the copper come here, then the cables will come around here and then come down in the back. That's my idea. They'll both go towards the center.
Why'd you say no way? That's not no way. That's yes way.
I know, it's a totally awesome idea.
It's a simple idea.
It is simple, and that's why I like it so much. And
So
we'll
you
put
can do it easily?
Yep.
Dad, what's the most boring part of the game?
Of this game?
Yeah.
Winning. Oh, I don't want to delete that.
Like the beginning, the middle, or the end.
I find them all. I find joy in all of the parts of the game. So.
The end is just you're upgrading stuff. You're never adding stuff because you already got everything. Why did you stop?
Because I think I realized a problem with my plan.
It's because you're not smart enough.
I'm just not smart enough, JJ. So what I need to do is get this out, but I have this belt of copper over here.
Splitter.
So what if I...
Why don't you just add a splitter?
Splitter won't help. So here we go. This, I think, has the wrong kind of thing in his hands. Okay. And I can't get past it.
It takes forever to walk from the opposite side of blue. Why is blue the most efficient color?
It's just the way they chose it.
Why?
Okay, so now I have copper cable on one side.
Why don't you have an actual axe at mines?
And I think, okay, let's calculate this again. So these take I want a 24 because it's 30 times 4/5. Yeah, so 24. So I need 24 factories. Let's go get some more. 24 yellow factories.
Where are you going out all the way here?
Because I want to pick something up. It's over here.
You know your factory.
Oh, absolutely.
How?
And we're not going to build those.
You just know everything about your factory. Like, you just move into, like, the wilderness like this and you know where you're going.
Yeah, well, you can see on the map.
Oh,
And also,
that's
I have a
cheating.
sense of direction.
That's cheating.
I wouldn't call the map cheating. So 24,
You have to learn the map. Like, get.
if I spread it out, this would be 12 groups like this. This is not too much. I'll just do it.
Why don't you just use the HHG?
What's HHG?
What do you think?
I don't know. You tell me.
Holy hand grenade.
I don't have grenade. Oh, wait. That's a lie.
Why you keep on
Aren't I making grenades up here? Yes, I am.
Keep on lying.
Here's my
Stop
grenades.
with the lying. Stop with the lying.
Kaboom! I need to upgrade these
Look
guys.
how efficient that is.
We're upgrading my grenades right about now. Grenades.
Grenades. Do you like the new way they did the researching? It's so much easier.
It seems the same.
But no, Dad, now you can, like, you don't have to click on different stuff. You just, it has, like, connections to the next one. Like this step right here.
Well, they had that since the beginning, though, I thought.
Like they did.
Yeah.
Oh.
Where are my grenade upgrades? Do I need military 3 to upgrade my grenades? Military 2 gives... Oh, there it is. Let's upgrade my grenades.
Oh, that's going quick. You're
Ah.
exploding your stuff.
Ah!
That's the one problem about grenades.
They're too good at their job.
No, they don't care about what's what. They only care about detonating. Ah, you're right.
They're hurting myself, too.
Yeah,
Okay.
no. Oh, Dad, there's a rock.
I'm going to... Oh, shoot. There's a problem. I can move the water out of the way. Grenade 2.
That's a huge problem. You're gonna explode your water. You're gonna explode your water.
So I'll move the water somewhere else. I think I can probably slip it through here or something. Maybe go to the bottom. Okay, so I need 24 of these guys. That's 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24.
Why do you need 24? You have a smart.
Because that's just the way I do. That's what I calculated I need.
So calculations are correct.
If my
Yes.
calculations are correct, yes.
And there is a solution.
A solution does exist,
A solution
and the solution
exists.
is me.
How, aren't you glad they added that?
The copy and paste? Oh, yeah.
They didn't add.
Otherwise, I have to click on each one. I think earlier versions you did have to click on each one.
I know. Jesus, slow.
And I think this will make a half
Dun,
belt.
dun, dun. Does it go like dun dun dun? Still.
Yeah. Well, not so much anymore.
Dun, dun, dun.
Need a bunch of red inserters.
I like how it gets ready. Is this future technology?
In the future?
Yeah.
I would say yes, it is. But many aspects of this are not future technology. It's current technology.
Oh, so it's like about.
So like
10 years-
robots and stuff. Like, oh yeah, we have robots. And we can program inserters, we can program factories and stuff. Of course, I don't know what these things you're building are and how they can be used to make a successful factory, but you know,
Does
whatever.
this game has real life logic?
What do you mean by real life logic?
Like, you know how in Call of Duty you just shoot the guy like 20 times and then he dies?
Oh, this is completely fake.
Oh, so it's fake logic?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's completely unrealistic. It is a logic game though, and it uses real logic, but
No, like, it's not like real life that you can use.
no, there's nothing in real life anything like this, except playing this game. Well, I guess programming is similar.
How hard would it be, Dad?
I know,
Imagine
boosters.
if you didn't start off with anything.
Die tech. You don't start off with anything, so you have to go mine some ores.
No,
And
in this game, you can't do anything if you don't start off.
Oh,
with
you
anything.
can.
You can only mine trees and that's it.
You can mine stone with your hands.
Yeah, but you need iron, don't you?
I can mine iron with my hands.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Oh. So it's just a quick jump start. So you don't have
Yeah,
to
so getting those things early on saves you a ton of time. Probably like maybe 30 minutes of gameplay. I don't know, 15, 20? It'd be the same no matter what you do, though. Those are the first two things you'd build.
Yeah.
Okay, that's ridiculous. It's actually working. Oh, my lands. It's working. Did I miscalculate? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24.
It's turning 9.
This can't be right. Something's wrong. I miscalculated something.
Grenade damage 3 finished.
Grenade damage 4.
What were you expecting?
So I can process 10 plastic a second, let's say, right? So that means I need 60. Oh. I can do 20 per second on a belt side. So that means I can build 10 of these a second, which means I need 60. 60 times 4/5. That's 15 times 4. No, 60 divided by 5 is 12, right?
Yeah.
Times 4 is 48. I need twice as many of these things.
In fact, it's gonna spread out.
48. 48. I have to move this if I'm going to do that. So I have to double this.
Is this peaceful?
I always play peaceful.
Because
Spiders are just annoying.
they don't do anything. You just kill them in an instant. They're like, well,
Yep.
back to work. They're just annoying.
Yep, they're just annoying.
That's all they do.
They don't add anything to the game for me. If you're new to the game and you like to have that little race, you know, I gotta build faster than the biters. Okay, go ahead, have fun. I've done that too many times.
It's boring.
It's boring for me.
Builds faster than the. Oh, how hard would the game be if they didn't add underground transports?
I think it would be almost impossible. From a topological sense, it would be almost impossible. I want to do it. I want to build 48, man.
You gonna build all those?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna move my train tracks.
Yeah, it's like playing train tracks now. Train tracks. Jeez, that took forever to walk through, Dad.
It did, didn't it?
Or you just go over the train tracks and say that was stupid. Now let's keep going.
I'm just gonna see how far it goes. So I'm gonna delete the train tracks right now. Let's get rid of this.
Get haste.
Haste.
No, instead of it's that's according to Minecraft. It's like
Okay. I have to build 24 more.
right. No, Dad.
2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24.
Oh, you almost hit the line.
This is fun for me.
Dun, dun, dun.
Now, I don't think I have enough belts, do I? I'll have to get some more resources,
Well, when
I'm
I
sure.
played this game, the first thing I did was create like
Need more belts.
too many belts. No, literally too many. I created so much that the first thing that I did when I started this game was create way too many belts.
Uh-huh.
Because my inventory got filled up with belts and I couldn't hold anything else.
Oh, I need belts. I need those belts. I'm not going to have enough red inserters either. Blue inserters? I'm probably going to run out of blue inserters.
No, you're not.
I'm going to have just enough.
Oh, Dad. Once when we were going shopping, Mom spilled her soda somehow.
In the car?
No, not in the car.
My brand new car?
No, not in the car, yet again. She spilled her soda, right? Then half of it was gone because she didn't even notice it spilled, so like a few seconds later, then she noticed. And then when she bought something, she forgot to. So she went to Costco, she went to Walmart, she went to Costco business center, and she forgot something at Costco, so she had to go back to Costco.
Uh-huh.
And then she forgot something at Walmart, so she had to go back to Walmart. And then she had to go back home.
So she had to drive all around town several times?
Yes.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. It's annoying.
That's why it took us till 2.
Yeah. And all the time we're up in the mountains playing in the snow, and you're like, oh, I wish I was playing in the snow too.
Do you know what I gotta do?
What?
Do you know what me and Dad gotta do?
What?
We gotta play as many board games as he wanted.
Oh, without Archie to interrupt you?
Yeah, without his stupid drone. He kept blowing all the cards away.
Oh. Archie got a drone for. It's surprisingly it's still working. I did not expect it to last this
one
long.
of the legs almost broke off when Archie was playing Pillow Wars.
He's playing Pillow Wars with a drone.
So Pillow Wars is basically where you have a drone, right? The drone was supposed to be super stable. It said really stable and super stable.
It is pretty stable. I'm surprised at how stable it is.
Yeah, but it almost
More
broke
grenade
off the
damage,
leg
please.
already. Kayla threw one of the pillows way too hard, so it almost broke a leg off, and she's happy.
Yeah, this thing normally like the helicopters and stuff he gets for Christmas lasts for like 2 weeks. But this is still there.
My Pop-Tarts are still there.
Your Pop-Tarts, you need to get rid of those. They're just sugar bombs. We bought them because we never buy them for normally.
Is there a cereal called chocolate frosted sugar bombs?
I think in Calvin and Hobbes, yes.
Yes, there is in Calvin and Hobbes. I just wanted to know
Look
if
at
it
that.
was in real life.
The plastic just barely made it to the end. Look at that. The cables are being eaten away.
There's like no cable.
Look at the plastic.
Oh, the classic is gonna become big. It just shrinks.
Yeah.
Oh,
It starts off full.
It goes off to empty.
I need to put the lights down. I need more lights. Let's use this.
Next.
Let's go quickly.
What's the point of nighttime? Okay, you have too much plastic and no circuits. Look, all the circuits are getting eaten away. Yeah, there's no more you can't get.
There's not enough circuits, huh?
Yeah.
I'm making a lot of red circuits, though, aren't I?
Yeah, but you're using it. What? How does all the circuits disappear? You're getting so much.
I'm not getting enough.
Well, you got a full belt.
It's actually not full.
It's almost full.
So maybe I need to do this. Now, how would I compress that?
I like how this game doesn't just use.
Oh, you know what might help? If I use blue belts.
Oh, that'll totally help, bro.
There.
Okay, now.
There's still gaps. There's still gaps.
Oh, look.
Why is there gaps?
Look at the bottom row.
No, it's the top row. The top row is full. I think it's because the bottom row isn't full. The top row.
Yeah, the bottom row isn't full.
So I need to somehow compress it.
If the bottom row weren't there, you'll get perfect.
So that's not what I want.
That's completely not what you want.
Nope. It's not getting full compression.
Those things.
Well, no,
are
it's definitely not, because I'm not getting enough blue circuits. Oh, you know what? I have a problem here.
Oh. Oh, Dad, look
Oh,
up
now
there.
I'm out of circuits. What's going on there?
Dad, no, look up there.
Let me check out my circuits really quick. See what's
Over
short.
up there, there's slow insert is taking out. Oh.
Yeah, the slow insert is taking off the blue belt. I saw that. Yeah.
No, slow insert is taking.
Oh, we're short on iron again.
Oh.
Short on iron. Let's go get some more iron.
Go grab more
You're done?
electric drills.
No, I don't need more iron. I have plenty of iron.
Oh, that's done.
You'll see. I have a little station down there.
Yeah, with 100% iron. Well, copper's full.
You'll see.
Iron's going out.
Oh, why is this? I don't want to be.
You should have them blue bells, because they're taking forever, Dad.
Here, we're gonna have.
They're taking so long. It's like they're trying to go slow, Dad. I think you got a full belt of iron now. Or ore. What's the red belts called?
They're called fast belts or something. I'm gonna take a look. Fast and then express.
Just. I think you're gonna get faster on iron. I didn't even know you used strengths.
All right, let's expand this one to be a full blue system.
I think that's what you need to do. Spore crystal. Oh, it's getting packed up now.
You need to go down
Why are
all
you
the
going
way
down?
to here. That's too far. I'm going to expand this to be a full blue. See, with the faster belts, I can have more.
Coming down.
Yeah, more coming down.
So that they won't take up all before it passes by them.
Yeah. Then I put down some more. Oh, we need to have it coming out too.
When do you make it? When did you start this?
A couple weeks ago.
No, the iron stuff.
Oh, this one? I don't know. I think a couple episodes back I started working on it.
It feels like you started that like super long ago.
Hopefully I have enough.
You need fuel?
Yeah, you have to put coal in there. Or something you can put wood into. No!
It's not like you have to do that. This is cool up. I see why Factorio is so interesting.
Why is that?
What do you think?
Is there so much stuff to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't have infinite. Why are you placing down those?
Because they don't take as many resources to build, and they're
Oh.
perfectly adequate. And it's not like putting blue ones down would do any better. I like to use yellows whenever I can. Let's follow this all the way up, make sure everything is blue.
Cool. The coal is already going too fast. What I mean by that is, it's already fine. Oh, that's a quick wood.
Ah! Stupid blue belts. Ah, I'm out. I have a ton of red belts though. I need to get rid of these stone. I know what I'll do. I know what I'll do. Landfill. All gone.
Can you do water fill?
Oh, that's the wrong one. Here. I'll grab some of those.
How many did you grab?
827.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Dad,
Yes.
when are you gonna do cement?
Do what?
Cement.
Cement.
Walk faster.
Oh, yeah. I haven't been doing that.
That
I
thing
should.
is
I should do
awesome.
cement. I should do it, shouldn't I?
It's cool. Is it a mod?
Hmm?
Is it a mod?
No, it's part. I think it came in 015.
Oh, it's really nice. Stone and cement.
What? Did I want to do that? No, I thought that was the circuits. Oh well.
You failed. Oh, you still have yellow transports.
Yeah, I do where it doesn't matter, and I haven't upgraded yet. Besides, why upgrade when you don't have to?
Yeah, but it's just funny. Because they have super slow equipment at the time. What?
There we go. It looks like my circuits are back in production. I just need another belt of them. You guys having fun there? Yeah, I need another belt.
No, instant.
I'm gonna do the same thing.
Turns yellow.
So long. Alright. Oh, I need more of those. Let's get some blue factories.
No, it just takes one hit.
Some factory blue.
What do you think? No, it didn't. It's just, it doesn't actually kill you.
You know, like once I want to game build available, we're gonna get everything from TV.
In what?
Like the last year. Like the last few years.
No, he didn't.
Oh, I once I'm there, I'm great.
Okay, then
Let's sit to ride on the belts here. Oh, hardly any greens are making it through.
no, that's there. Choose it. Did you go on the computer last night or today?
Let's go ahead and make those, I guess. It's fine.
Oh, Dad.
Yeah?
Daniel went on the computer today.
Really? Why?
Yeah, I don't know. There.
I didn't go upstairs. I was like, toilet water.
No, you have to do this or this. You have to do this or that.
I'm going to try to balance the reds. I don't think it'll make much difference.
Is there anything or with the door on?
I don't know. Maybe I won't balance the reds. Let's go check out. I'm going to start making those level 3s. What is it for the suit? Level 3 efficiency and level 3 speed. We need 5 of each. So
Touch dog turn.
let's see. Level 3s take 5. 5. These take 4. 4.
They did it.
15 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds. So we need 2 to 2, 4 to 2 to 1. More or less, 4 to 2 to 1. That's what we'll do. 4 to 2 to 1. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. No, let's not do it that way.
What? You want to do a more battle now?
Let's see.
I'm not going to make the level 1 blue circuits. I'm going to do the efficiencies.
What?
And not the whole thing.
And then
Grenade damage 5 finishes. But you can't do 2 truths. And also, that's not really fun. What's your favorite subject, Daniel?
Oh my goodness,
Okay.
what? Oh my goodness. It's just
PKMN.
and then we'll have
Dad,
yeah.
the funniest part of the lecture when you have the cleanest, most finest, best suit in the world, and you put a bunch of dog turd on.
Yeah.
Dog turd.
No, that's the thing is people think that if you just balance good and evil, then yay, it's all good, it's
Yeah.
okay.
Why'd you have to do dog turd?
Lay it on your side. Lay it on your
It's
side.
funny.
Lay down on the side, okay?
And a pinch of dark dirt won't really change it.
Lay
Just
down
don't look for brown feet.
Okay, it says lay down on the side. Head tilted to the side.
What?
Head tilted to the side.
What?
Head tilted facing the door. Okay? Now, stay very still.
Oh no no no! I don't want. I want the blues. I don't want greens.
Damn. Dad.
I want blues.
A piece of teeny tiny bit of dog turd in. Just eat it. And don't eat something that's brown.
I think not eating brown things that smell like dog turds is just a good idea all around. What do you think?
But what happens if the dog turd melts?
I need more blue circuits. Okay, let's do the. No, I think I'm done with this.
Frozen dog pee. That's
Bro, yeah. What about
Once-
dog feet?
once I took. No, I can take frozen dog pee. What does it look like? No, dog pee. Yeah, put dog pee in a banana syrup. Which one's dog pee? Which one's banana syrup?
Bananas, go.
I need blue circuits. I'll probably. I don't even have surplus blue circuits because I don't have surplus green circuits. I need another belt of green circuits. I need another belt. Need another. I need this. Need more green circuits. There's no other way to cut it. It's just I need them. Need to take this. I want to build 4. I need more green circuits. Let me just remind myself by putting a bunch of green circuits down all over the place. I need more green. Here, let me try to write it. M O M O R E. More. I don't have any more, do I? More. More. Alright guys, thanks for watching. We'll continue next time where I expand massively my green circuit operation, which requires more iron and more coal, more iron and more copper. 1.5 plates of copper per green circuit, 1 plate of iron per green circuit. So just watching this run. Looks like it's 100% engaged. This one probably isn't necessary, is it?
What are you doing? What is with the gray ones and weird ones?
Hmm?
Press T.
What was that, Kayla?
Is it a new what is it called? New update with all the new potions?
That has been around since 0.15.
What version is this?
0.16. Why is it? Oh, he's filling up. I see. That should lead to a little bit better density. I should be getting a full belt out of this, but I'm not. I miscalculated. I must have miscalculated. So we're making 2 a second. 2 times 1.25. We're making 2.5 per second. Times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 2.5 is 12. 15. So this is only 15 out of 20. So 75% full. 20 divided by 10. So I really need 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's not right. Okay, so if it was at 20, I need 10 factories. So 10 factories divided by 5 times 4. I need 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need another one.
What is that?
I wrote more because I need more green circuits.
That's Nor.
All right, fine. You know what? I'm just going to go over here and pick it up.
Write it again. You're too stupid.
I'm stupid. Oh man, I love Dexter's Lab. That was so hilarious. And so really it only needs a half belt on each side of iron because it's a 1-to-1 ratio, iron to circuits. Eh. Okay, here we go. That should lead to a full belt. Yes. Look at that, a full belt. Almost. Everybody's working and I got a full belt. How is my power? It's probably ridiculous. Oh, it's fine. Rocket shooting speed 5. It's almost perfectly a full belt. There's probably something somewhere that's getting stuck. Let's have these guys. Maybe that helps. That should help. Oh, that's almost perfectly a full belt. But I need another belt of greens because this, if I'm doing reds at full capacity, won't be enough to feed the reds. You already see that I'm peeling stuff off of it. And then the reds are going to consume a lot. Let's just go ahead and make that a blue belt too. And the reds alone would take a full belt if we were at full capacity for the reds, which we're not. If we were, hypothetically. And what else is using green circuits? These guys are using green circuits. They're using a ton, I bet. They're short on gears. I'm not making enough gears, am I? I'm going to have to use blue belts. More gears. I might need more than one full belt of gears to keep this factory happy. I don't know. No. Eh. I know I'm not making a full blue belt, but let's see how my mining drill factory is doing up here. Oh, they're happy now. Definitely they're happy. In fact, I can probably just change them back to reds and use yellow inserters. That's probably good enough. Yeah, now we're making blues full time again. Yep, I should upgrade to the yellow factories everywhere I can. Oh, I should upgrade the blue circuits to yellow factories. That's an easy upgrade. From 3/4 to 5/4, that's a 5-to-3 increase. And it looks like we have blue circuits making it all the way down, or green circuits. I mean, it's running, I just don't know how much longer it's going to run for. Yeah. So, they need 20, they need 2 a second. Wait, hold on. Yeah, let's do 2 a second. That means I can only have 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Really, I can only have 8. That's 4/5. So I can't have more than 8 on a full belt of green. And yeah, sure enough, that's what's happening. Look at this. If I put that there, this would be just enough, even with a full belt of green circuits. That can't be right. Hold on, 20 a second on, so I have a full belt, so it's 40 a second. These take 10 seconds. 4 per second, meaning, no, this is not right. 4 per second. So this requires two electronic circuits per second. And so that means on a belt of 40, we can have up to 20 of these running. Divide by 5 fourths. So that's 16. I'm wrong. It's 16. If I had a full belt of circuits, it'd be 16. Pressing Q, E is in the 16 is the maximum. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. Let's put in the 16th here. Let's see if I can do the grenade trick without hurting my stuff. Oh, that was like almost perfect. Okay, let's put in the last one here. This one, if we have a full blue belt of circuits coming down, then this one would be running. You can see it's not. It's not. Almost to rocket. I need to stop playing. I've gone way over time. An hour and 40 minutes is probably more than enough time for you guys to enjoy this episode. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.